In today's video, I want to go over what's new with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, and it might not be for you. I'll explain. And just to let you know, since it is on pre-order, you can save a lot of money on the Fold 5 and can even get it as low as $800, and you get a free storage upgrade. I'll have links down below for those of you who are interested. So this video is going to be nice and short because the changes to the Fold 5 are quite small, but to a lot of people, it might be kind of big. So to kick things off, the Galaxy Fold 5 now has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy, which is basically the 8 Plus Gen 2 since it's an overclocked version of the original 8 Gen 2. Right, that always confuses me as well. What this chip is going to bring is of course better performance for things like gaming and multitasking, and it's going to be more efficient, so things like battery life is going to be better and heating will be reduced. Reducing heat is a big one because heat is the #1 destroyer of batteries over time, so the less heat, the better. The interior display now goes up to 1750 nits, which now matches that of the Galaxy S23 Ultra, so outdoor visibility will be highly improved over the outgoing model. The exterior glass is going to be made from Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is of course going to be more durable against things like drops, and the updated hinge not only closes all the way flat, but it too is more durable against drops. I like how Samsung is kind of making foldable phones a lot more durable because from what I read from your comments, a lot of people are still kind of worried about the durability of folding phones. So making it more durable, yeah, that's a good thing in my book. Cameras on the Galaxy Fold 5 haven't been touched when it comes to hardware, but again, thanks to that new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy chip, that will still make your photos and videos better than the outgoing model. The Fold 5 also has a slimmer S Pen, which now fits flush, or at least somewhat close to flush, with the new cases that Samsung introduced, which is a pretty massive for me. I absolutely hated the huge S Pen that you got, or you could buy with the Galaxy Fold 4 in that weird case, because anytime you put the phone down, since there's like a huge silo on the bottom of the case, it just the case just like stood up on the desk. It was an afterthought. It felt like an afterthought. Meanwhile, this new updated case with the new updated S Pen actually makes a lot more sense. Now, when it comes to the battery life, the actual battery capacity is still at 4,400 milliamp hours, but again, remember, the 8 Gen 2 is a lot more efficient than the 8 Plus Gen 1 that we got with the Galaxy Fold 4, so battery life should still see somewhat of an increase. I'm thinking about maybe an hour or an hour and a half of screen on time, which is obviously always a good thing for foldable phones because everyone knows foldable phones don't exactly last that long. The Fold 5, like the Flip 5, is just a more polished product rather than a whole redesign innovation compared to the outgoing models. It's tougher than before, it's brighter than before, you have better software, better hardware, and a new boxy design to kind of match that of the S23 series. So should you buy it? Well, the answer is simple. If you have the Galaxy Fold 4, I would say, not really. It's not really worth it. The differences are there, but it's not there enough to trade in your Galaxy Fold 4 and then you get the Fold 5 for $800 because $800 is still $800. Like that's a whole new phone. It might not be a flip phone or a fold phone, but it's still $800. I mean, you can buy a brand new S23 Plus for that, you know? So I would say hold off on it. But if you have the Galaxy Fold 3, for example, which has a Snapdragon 888 processor, which is completely not efficient, it heats up like a beast, battery life is absolutely terrible, then yeah, I would say now would actually be a pretty darn good time to upgrade. If you pre-order the Fold 5, Samsung is also giving you Samsung Care Plus. So if your Fold 5 ever drops and breaks, Samsung will actually replace it. So that should kind of also help ease you into the whole folding phones if you are still worried about them. Personally, I did order the Galaxy Fold 5 512 gig because you do get that storage upgrade absolutely for free. So for the same price as a 256, I got the 512. So I do have that on the way. It should be arriving on the 11th of August. So I'll be making a ton more videos on that product. So if you guys are new here, consider subscribing if you haven't already. You know, I see a lot of people complaining that the Fold 5 didn't really change much from the Fold 4. And while I agree, there's visually hardly any difference, like at all. But like I said, it's more of a polished product. It's not for those that want to upgrade every single year. There's no point unless you just want to really pay that $800 after the trade-in. Then sure, go for it. But it's not made for those that have the Fold 4. But it's also for those that have never used a folding phone. Now they can finally go into that world of folding phones with Samsung and they would get a huge upgrade. I mean, they would go from a non-folding phone to a folding phone that has been polished, that has a hinge that closes all the way flat, that has really good cameras, that has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy, that has that interior display that goes up to 1750 nits, which is stupid bright. I mean, that's what my S23 Ultra has. I've never had any issues with outside visibility. So people that are going into the folding phone game right now, they are the ones that are going to be super impressed, not those with the Fold 4. You know what I mean? So did they upgrade? Yeah. Is it supposed to be a whole new innovation? Not really. It's just supposed to be a polished product. Kind of like the iPhone 13 Pro to the iPhone 14 Pro. Like, not really much has changed. They added the dynamic island and everyone went bananas over it, even though it's just a notch. That's it. You know what I mean? That's really all what's new, you know? So don't look for innovation. Look for an upgrade. If you don't want to upgrade now, upgrade next year, you know? That's when you'll see that big change coming, and that might be what you're looking for. So hopefully I made your purchasing decision a little bit easier regarding the Fold 5. Now, I did make a video on the Flip 5, which I also ordered, also coming in soon. So if you guys want to see that, go and check it out. And if you did enjoy today's video, you found it entertaining, helpful, whatever, leave me a like. It's completely free to you, but it helps me and the channel out a whole lot, and I truly appreciate it. And this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.